For page number 38, it says the kinetic energy Ke of an object can be determined by this equation, Ke equals half mv squared, where m is the mass of the object and v is the velocity of the object. Which of the following gives the value of v in terms of Ke and m? So who cares about that part? You could scratch that part out. What we're looking for is, it says, which of the following gives the value of v? So v is what we are going to solve for. So all you got to do is isolate for the v. Okay, so when we solve for the v, what we're going to do first to solve for it is multiply both sides by a 2. And if we do that, that and that cross out, and then this becomes 2Ke equals mv squared. Okay, and then now we can divide out the m, that crosses out. And if we want to, I'll write this over so it doesn't confuse you. And when you have a squared, how do you unsquare it? You do the opposite of it, which is the square root. So you square root that, you square root that. This is going to be regular. V is going to equal square root of 2Ke over m. And that answer is C. For the next question, number 13, it says 7 times 3w plus 1 over 4 minus 3w equals 1. In the equation above, what is the value of w? Okay, so we want to find out what is w. So what we need to do first is we need to distribute this. Okay, and notice that we're not distributing all the way here because it's only, the 7 is multiplied to this only. So what that's going to look like now is going to be 7 times 3 is 21w plus 7 over 4 minus 3w equals 1. So we could take this and join them together. Okay, so 21 minus 3 is going to be 18w. Okay, and then it's going to be plus 7 over 4 equals 1. But because I have a 4 down here, I'm going to do this, okay? I'm going to make this one a 4 over 4. Do you guys get why I did that? Because any number over itself equals 1, and because we've got a 4 down here in the denominator, I don't want to work with anything that I just got to work with something with the same denominator. Okay, so now I could subtract out the 7 over 4, that's going to cancel out. 18w is now going to equal negative 3 over 4. Okay, and then from there we got to divide out the 18 and divide out 18. Now this is a thing that a lot of kids don't remember. Remember, under the 18 is like a 1. Okay, so when you are dividing by a fraction or dividing with a fraction involved, what you do is KFC. Okay, you are going to take this bottom portion and you're actually going to leave this part the way that it is, and you're going to take this bottom, you're going to multiply it, you take this bottom one and you flip it over like this. Okay, so you're going to end up getting negative 3 over 18 times 4 is 72. And once you take out a 3 out of both, it'll be negative 1 over 24, which is your answer A. Because you could further reduce that. Number 34, 12 over 5, r minus 2 equals 2 over 3, 3r minus 2, 2r minus 1. Okay, so it says here, in the equation above, what is the value of r? Okay, so what we can do first is make this portion right here less complicated. And so what we want to do is divide that stuff in. So start with what's near the parenthesis. We got to work with this, okay? And so this is really going to become 3r, and it's going to be minus 4r if you multiply that, and then it's going to be plus 2. Okay, so that part is going to be right there, and you could actually join those together. to then become negative r plus 2 times 2/3. Okay, and then this part right over here is going to be 12 over 5 times r minus 2. Okay, so what you can do to both sides, because they have a 5 and a 3 at the bottom, is you could multiply both sides by the common denominator, which is going to be 15. So if you do that, this 15 times this 15 is going to cancel this out to a 3. Okay, so 3 times 12 is 36, r minus 2. And then 15 divided into 3 is going to leave you with a 5. 5 times 2 is 10, negative r plus 2. Okay, and then from here, you can distribute. 36r minus 72 equals negative 10, 10 times negative r is negative 10r, plus 10 times 2 is positive 20. And then from here you could join the r, so this is going to be plus 10r to cancel that out. Plus 10r, you're going to go plus 72, and this is going to be plus 72, cross that out. 36 plus 10 is 46r, and 20 plus 72 is going to be 92. 46 divides out of r to isolate r by itself. 46 times 2 is 92, so r is going to equal 2. And that is your answer.